got another one coming. Had a derailment. Morning. They were out in, actually, Hulcher was here unloading ties for us on Wednesday. And they was here all day, I'm sorry, Tuesday. And all day Tuesday they were unloading ties for us. And at the end of the shift they got a call and had to go to Steelton. And that's 270 miles from here. So they had a locomotive and 2 cars off. They didn't tell me what railroad it was for. And then here Wednesday night, we had a car come off here. So they're just, this is Friday morning, they're just pulling out. All right, let's go down and see that bearing. They put the truck set down here. I haven't seen it yet, just a picture. Okay, we're down here at what used to be Robina Mine. And behind the truck back in here is where they used to go down into the mine at one time. This was the largest mining complex in the world. It was built back in the 1940s by United States Steel. And huge prep plant right there. And if you, way back, you see them concrete things over there by the river. They loaded barges there. And on up here, they had a barge unloader where they unloaded barges from Dilworth mine and processed it. And there was buildings everywhere. And now there's nothing. All we have here is way down there. That blue building is our water treatment plant. So, this used to be a happening place. This bearing knocked the, well, let me tell you, this is the haul road. This is where they hauled the slate up and way up there to the slate pile way up there, and it crosses our track on up there. You can't see it here. But this is how the Hulcher had access to get up in there. It was fairly easy access, and that's great. They had their staging area down here where it's nice and flat. So this is the culprit. Bearing went bad. Alrighty. Got cooked pretty good. Sheared the axle in half. 6 and 1/2 inch axle thick. And look at this. So this is not something you get to see. Now, very often, do you? These are sealed bearings. Don't know what was on this one, obviously. So, here you go. The wheel looks like it's in pretty good shape. Okay. Our Hot Wheel detector at milepost 8. Now, this came off 6 1/2 miles on the east side of that Hot Wheel detector. So I come in this morning and they showed me this picture, and I said, you know, that's a lot of damage for 6 1/2 miles. It was a loaded coal car, okay, and I suggested they check the parameters on that. Of course, this all happened when it, you know, the truck set fell off. And that's been rubbing up there on that axle. A little bit here. Anyway, and that detector's supposed to set it off at, not much to see on this side, at 150 degrees. The bearing temperature 150 degrees above ambient temperature. And I said that's an awful lot of wear in 6 1/2 miles. I guess it's possible. I'm going to run track here and see if I can find the rest of that axle and some bearing parts But yeah, they actually did yesterday go up and get in the computer. The computer stores, I think it's 100 trains, all the information for all the wheels for 100 trains, and then it starts to write itself over. So it's supposed to go off. And when they went up and checked this one, when it passed the detector, it was 43 degrees above ambient temperature. So that all happened within 6.5 miles. Alrighty, we'll go ride track and see what else I can find. See if I can find that other bearing. We've had this happen before we even got the detector. That those axles completely were down in half. Hulcher brought this down here, by the way. So, okay, it's going to be a nice day. Last weekend we came in, it was 2 degrees. Today is supposed to get up to 75. We can handle that. Alrighty, we'll be back. Alright, this is I'll come back later and get this truck. This is the boom they have on their cats. You saw they loaded up. Here's the snatch block they have. Pretty neat how they someday I hope I can get the video of them loading this truck. Pretty neat how they do it. There's the weight box. And there's the weights. I have no idea what they weigh, but they're pretty doggone big. I don't think I could pick one up. I don't think so. They do a lot of work after dark. Got their own light plant with them. And there's some more weights. Alrighty. Big stuff. My goodness. That is a thick cable. Wow. Well, looky what I found. Picked up these pieces. We did have a small fire. Some hot metal must have gone off into the brush along the track down there. Wasn't major. Burnt about 6 foot wide strip for about 50 yards or so. Nothing, no big deal. But this is all I could find. Pretty wild stuff. There's a couple of rollers that did stay intact. And I believe this is called a roller cage, or was a roller cage. Now, got pretty doggone warm. Now, here's the big one. I got my workbench here in the back of my utility truck. Okay. I haven't looked at the car yet. I'm going to head back here. I ran track today and wanted to make a good inspection, make sure everything was all right. They on the track where this come off, and we was really lucky. Only had about 12 bolts get sheared off, and we really lucked out on that. So the bolts have been replaced, the new bolts in that were sheared off, and I had a bearing failure way in the past before they got the hot wheel detector, where a wheel had dropped off and it sheared all 3 bolts on one side of the joint bars where they were sticking out with the nuts. Sheared them. There's a bolt that was sheared. Sheared them off, all 3 of them, for over a mile. Replace all those bolts. We had the crew out there. We had 4 guys out there putting bolts in on that deal. Okay. Pretty interesting stuff. And I can't even conjecture an opinion on why it happened. I just maybe got wore out. And like I said, these are sealed bearings. You know, we've had bearings go bad in the past, and you know, we're not the only railroad that has bearings go bad. But that's railroading. not a part of railroad you want to see. But we've had, I'm thinking, 3 bearings go bad in the last year and a half. So 38 cars, and I don't know. I don't know if we have a vendor problem. I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm not going to take a guess. It just happened. All right. Okay. See what else we can come up with. All right, this is the car that the truck set was under that had the bad bearing on it, and I showed you on that axle where it was rubbing right in here, and this is what occurred. Broke that out. That's the plate that holds the yoke up in that seal pocket. So this is going to have to get some repair done to it. They shoved it down here, and had some damage over here also. When they Hulcher put the truck sets on, they didn't bother hooking up the brakes because they knew this was going to have to go into the shop and get repaired. A lot of damage there, and that whole plate's going to have to get taken off and new and put up under. It's not a big job. They can do that here, so there you go. That's what was rubbing on that axle. Now, I didn't crawl up under there. I will wait until I couldn't see anything where that other axle had been rubbing back here. Looked like back in there somewhere. I didn't crawl back up into there. We'll wait till they get this car jacked up and see what that looks like. But all right, you want to know what's running? That's 3098 there. Okay, so I think we got the story complete. The guy stopped right outside the harbor. Actually, is when he got stopped. The locomotive was up in there, hadn't come all the way down in yet. When apparently he said an air hose, would have been this one, came disconnected. I don't know how it happened. He was the operator that night. Anyway, the train went into emergency. That's why he got stopped. So, doesn't look like that glad hand's damaged any. But, that's what he said. Alrighty? So there you go. Another adventure. So anyway, when they walked back, this is the, you know, they found that truck set there the way it was. Okay. All right. I want to thank you very much for watching today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't like to see this kind of stuff happen, but what are you going to do? That's railroad. Okay. Have a really good day.